Some protection doesn't arrive like a siren. It arrives like a nudge, a quiet inner no, a delay that irritates you, a sudden calm that makes zero logical sense. And later, sometimes minutes later, sometimes months later, you realize something unseen was steering you away from what could have harmed you. When you start noticing these signs that you're being protected, life feels less random. Not because you control everything, but because you realize you're not alone in the way your path unfolds. Angels, spirit guides, and divine timing often work through the subtle layers of your experience. Intuition, dreams, synchronicities, even those "why did I do that?" choices you can't fully explain. This isn't about living in fear or turning every feather into a prophecy. It's about discernment, learning the difference between anxiety and guidance, between overthinking and genuine spiritual direction. Protection isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's inconvenient, and sometimes it's so precise it makes you laugh later. Like, okay, message received. If you've been sensing strange patterns lately, you may be closer to spiritual protection than you think. How invisible protection usually works. Spiritual protection tends to move through 3 channels: inner knowing, outer redirection, and energetic reassurance. Inner knowing shows up as a thought you didn't manufacture, a warning that lands cleanly, without panic. Outer redirection shows up as detours, interruptions, missed trains, sudden changes of plan, or people who appear at the perfect moment. Energetic reassurance is the feeling of peace, warmth, or calm that arrives in the middle of chaos, like an invisible hand on your shoulder, saying, "Not this, not today." Angels and spirit guides often whisper because fear is loud enough already. They don't usually shove you, they position you. The sign isn't always the event hits, the timing, the pattern. The way something consistently pulls you away from what doesn't serve your soul. Sometimes the miracle isn't what happens, it's what doesn't happen. Number 1. You feel sudden urges to change direction. You're about to take your usual route, make your usual choice, do the predictable thing, and suddenly, you don't. No big debate, no dramatic reason, just an inner lean. Go another way. Later you hear there was an accident on that road, tension at that event, or trouble that would have placed you in the wrong place at the wrong time. This kind of redirection often arrives without anxiety. It's not your mind spiraling, it's your spirit steering. Protection can use your instincts like a steering wheel. And sometimes your guardian energy is quietly dramatic, like a spiritual bouncer who doesn't argue, just moves you to the other side of the room. Sometimes your path is being protected from an energy that isn't meant for you. Conflict, chaos, or even a conversation that would have destabilized your progress. When you feel that sudden shift, pause and internally ask, is this for raw guidance? If it's guidance, it will feel clean and simple. This is one of the clearest signs you're being protected, because it often comes with later confirmation. The detour makes sense after you obey it. Number 2. You escape accidents or danger unharmed. Near misses can shake you because they feel like a glitch in reality. You almost slipped, almost crashed, almost got hurt, yet somehow you didn't. You walk away with barely a scratch, or you're spared in a way that makes you whisper, "How?" Spiritually, these moments can be reminders that your life has invisible margins of safety you don't always perceive. It doesn't mean you're invincible, or that you should test fate. It means there are times when something steps in, timing shifts, angles change, people react faster than usual. Your body moves instinctively. Sometimes a near miss is a wake-up call, not punishment alignment, a course correction. A moment that says, slow down, pay attention, stop ignoring what your body and spirit have been trying to tell you. Instead of replaying it for days, turn it into gratitude and grounding. Put a hand on your heart, breathe slowly, and say, "Thank you for keeping me." Then adjust whatever lifestyle pattern that moment highlighted: speed, exhaustion, distraction, or risky environments. These close calls can be powerful signs not to scare you, but to keep you here for what you're meant to do. Number 3. You hear a voice or a thought warning you. There's a particular kind of warning that doesn't feel like your normal thoughts. It's short, direct, almost flat in tone. Don't go, stop, wait. It doesn't argue with you, it simply arrives. Angels often communicate like this quietly, not because they're weak, but because they don't need to wrestle your free will. They offer a signal. You choose whether to listen. Anxiety is repetitive and frantic. It loops. Guidance is specific and calm. It lands once or twice, and it feels strangely certain. When your gut speaks clearly, it may be more than intuition, maybe protection. When you hear that inner warning, ask, if I ignore this, do I feel heavier? Your body often answers before your mind can debate. And if you want more messages like these, more spiritual patterns decoded, more signs explained in plain language, subscribe to stay close to the next teachings and stories. Protection is easier to recognize when you train your awareness. Number 4. Sudden peace in a scary moment. You're in a situation where panic would be normal, yet you feel calm, not numb, not dissociated, just steady. Your breathing slows, your thoughts get clearer. You respond wisely instead of reacting wildly. That kind of peace can be a spiritual intervention. In many traditions, peace is not just an emotion, it's an energetic shield. It stabilizes you so you can move through danger without making it worse. Fear narrows perception. Peace widens it. When you're calm, you see exits, options, and timing. You notice details. You make smarter choices. That's why spiritual protection often arrives as peace, because peace makes you capable. Don't question it, use it. If calm washes over you, let it guide your next move. Afterward, ground yourself, drink water, step outside, put your feet on the floor, and thank the presence that held you steady. This is one of the clearest signs you're being protected, because it defies logic. The moment is chaotic, yet your inner world becomes quiet as if someone turned down the volume so you could hear guidance. Number 5. You dream of angels or being saved. Dreams can be the night shift of your spiritual life. When the conscious mind relaxes, symbols speak louder. You might dream of light, wings, a rescuer, a hand pulling you away from danger, or a voice telling you, not yet. These dreams aren't always literal predictions. Often, they're messages about energetic protection, that you are being guarded, that you're being moved away from harm, or that something in your life is being cleared behind the scenes. Common themes: being lifted up or carried away, doors closing right before something goes wrong, bright light entering a dark place, a calm figure guiding you silently. What to do with these dreams? Write them down immediately. Dreams evaporate fast, like spiritual mist. Ask, what was I being protected from? An event, a person, a version of myself. Sometimes protection is from external danger. Sometimes it's from repeating an old cycle. This shows up when you're not performing, not proving, not controlling, just receiving. Number 6. You find feathers or coins in unusual places. You notice a feather on your path, in a place it shouldn't be indoors, on your car seat, right at your doorstep. Or you keep finding coins at odd moments, especially after praying, crying, or asking for a sign. People often associate feathers and coins with angelic reassurance. I'm here. Now, could it be a coincidence? Sometimes, but spiritual life isn't about proving. It's about recognizing patterns. A sign becomes meaningful when it appears in context, after a request, during a crisis, or repeatedly in a specific emotional season. How to read it wisely. Don't obsess over the object. Focus on the timing and the feeling it brings. Does it calm you? Does it remind you to trust? Does it interrupt the spiral? Here's a simple approach. When you see it, pause and say, if this is for me, help me understand what I'm being guided toward. Then watch what unfolds over the next 24 to 48 hours. This is one of the gentler signs you're being protected, a quiet check-in from the unseen, like a tap on the shoulder from a loving presence. Number 7. You survive what should have broken you. There are seasons that should have flattened you emotionally, spiritually, physically, yet you're still here. You may not be untouched, but you're unbroken. That is not just resilience. Sometimes it's protection that kept you from collapsing completely, even when you felt like you were hanging on by a thread and a half. Spiritual protection doesn't always stop the storm. Sometimes it becomes the structure inside you that prevents the storm from taking your soul. What this can mean? You're being preserved for a reason. Your life has assignment energy on it, something you're meant to learn, teach, build, or heal. The fact that you're still standing can be a sign that unseen forces have been reinforcing you in the background. What to do with this sign? Honor what you survived. Stop minimizing it. Speak kindly to yourself. And consider this. If you lived through what should have destroyed you, maybe you're not meant to live small. It's sacred endurance. It's the invisible hand that kept your spirit stitched together. Number 8. You get delayed, interrupted, or blocked for no clear reason. You try to go somewhere and everything slows down. The rideshare cancels. The meeting gets moved. You forget an item and have to turn back. The elevator takes forever. It's annoying, almost comically so, like the universe is putting speed bumps in front of your plans. Sometimes, that's protection. Not every delay is divine, but some delays are too perfectly timed to ignore. You arrive late and miss an argument. You postpone a trip and avoid a tense situation. You reschedule an appointment and meet someone who changes your life. Protection can look like inconvenience because it's often working with timing, not comfort. Instead of forcing through, pause and ask, am I being redirected or simply tested in patience? Either way, your response matters. Fighting every interruption can make you miss the message. A gentle mindset shift. Treat delays as potential shielding. If I'm late, maybe I'm being saved from what's on time. Yes, it sounds like a spiritual bumper sticker, but sometimes the bumper sticker is right. This can be one of the clearest signs you're being protected because the block isn't. Random it repeatedly prevents you from stepping into something misaligned. Number 9. Help appears at the exact moment you need it. You're struggling silently, and someone texts you out of nowhere. You're about to make a questionable choice, and a friend calls. You're lost, and a stranger points you in the right direction. You're overwhelmed, and a solution shows up with almost embarrassing precision. Protection often comes through people. Angels don't always need wings. Sometimes they use human hands. A guide can nudge someone toward you, or arrange a moment of grace that restores your faith. Angels rarely announce themselves. They arrange the timing. How to respond when you notice these signs? Protection is a gift, but it's also a responsibility to pay attention without becoming paranoid. The goal isn't to interpret every event like a detective. The goal is to stay spiritually receptive while remaining grounded. Protection is often quiet because your life is loud. It shows up as a detour, a whisper, a dream, a calm wave in a chaotic moment. A symbol that lands at exactly the right time, or a person who appears like a bridge when you thought you were alone on the edge. The point isn't to become superstitious. The point is to become aware. When you recognize how guidance moves, you stop forcing doors that were never yours, and you start cooperating with timing that's wiser than your urgency. Let the strange moments soften you instead of scaring you. Let the near misses remind you to live with more intention. And when you feel that gentle nudge against listen, some protection doesn't announce itself. It simply redirects you into safety. one unseen step at a time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel, and to click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos. May love, light, and inspiration always find you.